As a kid, when you sit in a cinema, you think it's all about you being there in the cinema. And the whole world is about you. And then you grow up and the whole world isn't about you anymore. And the funny thing is, in VR, if a story is told well, it is actually all about you. What we're trying to do is audience-aware storytelling. And we can adjust the experience, we can adjust the intensity, we can adjust when exactly moments happens, we can adjust how things happen to you specific as the viewer. Making people go through an experience, an emotional experience. That's all I want. My name is Saschka Unseld and I'm the creative director at Oculus Story Studio. Oculus Story Studio is about a year old by now. We'll do experiences in VR and stories in VR that take about 6 months to make. They're between 6 and 10 minutes long. So all of these are kind of doors into different possibilities that we want to have open and see what we learn from them. We finished 2 projects so far. The first one is Lost. It's set in a magical forest at night. Mysterious and wonderful things start to happen. The second one is Henry, and it's a comedy about a hedgehog that loves nothing more than to hug people, but he has spikes, so he has a very lonely birthday party. With Henry, for example, what we did, we thought, okay, let's try to tell a comedy, typical slapstick kind of an animated character comedy. And the final film turned out to be more sad than funny. If you would cut it as a film, exactly the same thing, you would have a lot of laughs. In VR, you don't. If someone falls on their face right next to you, it's not funny. In cinema, you have something like the fourth wall, which means there is this wall between the story and the world and the audience. In VR, there is no such thing as a fourth wall, because in VR, you are right there with the characters in the world. In a movie, if you have an intimate scene, you normally would use a close-up shot of someone. So we had a moment where Henry was really sad and we staged it in a way that he would be really close to you. Turns out that is not what a close-up is. Because a close-up is a really long lens and being far away with the camera. Because you sit this close to someone who's nearly about to cry, that is not comfortable. While if the character sits somewhere back there in a corner and is about to cry, you actually have a lot of empathy for him. So the way comedy works and the way empathy works is very different in VR than it is in film. We had an early build of Henry where Henry never looked at you, and it felt really strange because you know you're there. And this character goes through all these things without even acknowledging that you're there. It felt right that Henry acknowledges you as the viewer because you are actually there. And it's a moment where kind of the story stops and he looks at you and he shares that moment with you. That relationship, especially if you do it in real time, and it's not pre-recorded, but it's in real time, it's nearly as if I have an actor there with me, acting through it just for me. That kind of one-on-one relationship that I have in VR is something very primal. I feel like that you don't have in any other medium. The main character tells the story to you, as if you are the self-awareness of the main character. That creates a very intimate bond between the character and you as the audience, and something very different to a movie. A book works through inner monologue. You read what a character thinks. In a film, you understand the character through his actions. And in VR, I think you understand a story more through how you feel in a situation. I think it's seeing the world with open eyes and discovering new things. To a certain extent, some of the VR things that I directed made me appreciate the world again a bit, because it is so much about how beautiful the world is.